right. All right. So hopefully there's audio. I think there should be audio. I think we're good. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to hop on live with Mr. Shohei, Mr. 3 calls, 3 booms, 100% close rate for today. And actually, here, I don't want to talk for you, man. Just let us know what happened in your day. This is crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm completely ecstatic. Seriously, this is like the first time I've had, 100% close rate. So yeah, I had like 3 calls. The first call was for a 5K mentorship. The guy, we gelled really well in the call. We built really, really good rapport. I mean, he was talking for ages, but we did build that great rapport and then closed from there. And the thing is, he just trusted me, right? So that's obviously something very important that Joey and Dylan have brought us to. Just be yourself, and then they can trust you. They see how genuine you are, right? So that's the first one. I was super happy. I was like, okay, I can do with that for the day, right? Then I had the second call, and
so how much did you make in commissions with that call?
So with that first call, it's 5K, so $500.
500, okay.
That one, yeah.
You just made someone's entire paycheck, bro, in an hour. Okay, next call.
Yeah. The next call was with a person who, she went on a lot of courses before, but she was left in the dark a lot. So I can see her pain and everything. Mm-hmm. Especially with Amazon FBA, there's so many different courses out there that are just too generic. She wanted something detailed. So I asked exactly what her expectations were and everything. I listed out to her and said, how much longer are you willing to work by yourself and be kept in the dark and be losing on all of this profit that you could have made?
The stuff we taught you in the academy? Okay.
Exactly. The reflect and clarify was really powerful with that one.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you're completely right. And I was like, okay, well, this is another thing I learned from you guys as well. Okay, so I believe you're here for 2 reasons. The first reason is,
Yeah.
Find out more about the course.
Yeah. Okay.
Second reason is, boom. I mean, you wanna follow through with it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yeah, I want to follow through. Send her the contract link, paid, done. That's another $500 commission. Right?
$1,000. All right. And then you had another close, right?
Yeah. So then the third one, with this, he wasn't eligible for the mentorship package because he was a complete beginner.
Okay. Fair enough.
We sold him the course. And again, he was in the dark as well with other courses. And he just wanted someone genuine who had a very detailed course and someone who he could easily reach out to, right, without all the fluff and the Lamborghinis and all that stuff. And so my influencer, he's kind of like that. So that's why people judge towards him. So yeah, just again, it was literally all about reflect and clarify. Seriously, I didn't even go too much deep in the pain or goals. That's not advised, but reflect and clarify was really good. I did the same thing. I believe you had for 2 reasons.
Yeah. It works, man. It fucking works.
Exactly. I mean, it's a beautiful transition.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem awkward. And like you're setting as well. So yeah, went for that and $1,500 close there. So 150 commission from that.
3 calls. So that's what, total like 3 hours of calls today?
Yeah, exactly. 3 hours of calls.
3 hours of calls. $1,150 in one day. Just like that. Just from talking on the phone, applying what already works. Like, oh man, Shohei, you got me so pumped.
Seriously.
That's so good to hear. That's so good.
I can't wait to get on the phone tomorrow, man.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so good to hear. I know, because last month, right? Last month we were dealing with the issue, like, man, like the close, like why am I not like closing the way that I know I could close, right? Next, what shifts has happened in order to like really for you to like break out like this? Like, what shifts did you make? Mental shift, beliefs, right? What actions? What did you do different this time in order to get this kind of results?
Yeah. So I think it was a few things. So the first thing was basically that, I had a poor mindset. So whenever I didn't close calls, because I was with a new influencer, I'd always think, oh, I'm not getting the right close rate. I'm not getting towards his expectations, stuff like that. So whenever I would get on the call, I'd always be like, okay, I need to close this one. Mm-hmm. And I know that's wrong, but it was just ingrained in my head, right?
Yeah.
It was just there. So then, unfortunately, at that time, I chose to go with Joey for the private coaching. I spoke to him about this, and he was just open. He's like, look, it's just going to create so many negative loops in your mind. You can't be doing that. You have to tell yourself that, look, I've got so much results beforehand. I can close. And then just keep with those affirmations that, you are a good closer. Because it may have been that you just got leads that weren't really interested, right? So never doubt yourself. I think that's definitely one thing that I've learned, especially over the past week or so. What else? And always practicing. I mean, seriously, sometimes when you're closing for long and you're closing for different influencers and stuff, you feel like you don't need to practice sometimes because you feel like, I know everything. I've closed before and this and that.
Right.
But the value of practicing always and going through the 8 steps especially is, it's golden. I mean, you can't stop practicing, basically. You have to keep practicing.
Yeah.
And that's what closing is. I mean, if you don't practice, you're going to lose the skill. You're not going to get closes.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get negative loop in your mind saying, I can't close this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate your help, man. Seriously.
No worries,
really
bro. Yeah. So I forgot that. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, man. You invested in one-on-one coaching, right? Literally just a couple of questions you asked is super specific. Hit it on the nail. Next you know, you implement it. Next you know, a couple of days later, weeks later, you're hitting 3. Man, dude, I don't even think I've done that yet. I don't even think I've done 100% close rate for one day yet, bro. So that's like,
no way, man.
Yeah, that's like sick. Was it like 3 appointments for the whole day, or was it like, did you have like 6 appointments and like 3 no-shows? What was it?
No, for this particular influencer, it was 3 appointments for the whole day.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's
So
dope.
I'm super happy for that, man.
Dude, that's crazy. So let's put things in perspective. So you worked 3 hours today, closed and changed three lives today, right? And you made $1,150. And how many hours would you need to work because you used to be a pharmacist, so how much hours would you need to work to make that kind of money being a pharmacist?
Sure. Well, I mean, put it this way. I mean, I'd get probably $2,500 a month from doing 9 to 5 pharmacy in a hospital and doing all the dog work, man. So this is literally half of that in 3 hours.
So, you made half of your 9 to 5 income in 3 hours, not doing no hard labor, not dealing with people. Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane. That's so cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I remember actually as a personal trainer, I was really making a decent income, but when I was a personal trainer, I was still trading I had to still drive to the gym. I still had to handle all the customers, like their workout programs, nutrition programs. So I was doing so much more. Whereas in closing, dude, as soon as that conversation's over, that's pretty much it. The influencer handles all of the work. That's and then obviously you're just there to just keep the relationship going, right? Because that is your student, so you do want to keep that relationship. But the work needed to be a closer is literally just knowing how to intentionally change someone's life, but also just knowing a proven structured way that you could follow all the time to lead to the same result, if that makes sense.
Exactly, yeah. And I'd advise anyone who's like stuck with stuff, especially if you've been closing before as well. It's good to practice, good to have role plays, but one of the better things is definitely to invest in one-on-one coaching. I believe that 100%, because they can tailor everything to you. I mean, role plays would be good, but then again, the people who you're role playing with, they may not be as experienced.
Yeah.
So
it's a big one.
Yeah. Company serious. As soon as you put that private coaching out, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing it. I don't care if I just get one call.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to do it because I know it's going to accelerate my results. So that's what it is. Yeah, man. I'm really thankful to you guys, seriously, because before I would never be able to kind of do this. And
dude,
you guys keep what you're doing, man.
Seriously. Yeah, you're just some short, like little tweaks away, and obviously, for those out there that are watching this on live, because it obviously it's on Facebook Live, right? Me and Dylan, we practice what we preach, right? Like we're in closing calls every day. Like I have 8 calls tomorrow, right? So that's the thing. You really also want to learn from somebody who's doing what they're actually talking about, because a lot of people out there, You know, how many programs have you invested in closing wise that actually shows you live closing calls from the person who created a program, right? That's a real closing call. Which, well, like, just think about that for a second. Like, we're 100% vulnerable, 100% honest, right? We give you guys all of our closing calls inside the academy. And obviously, this is not a plug to the academy. This is more to celebrate Shoaib's achievement. It just kind of, I guess, it kind of just went that route. But yeah, it's I'd definitely say when it came to me learning sales from my mentor Reggie, I mean, nothing was better than him like specifically telling me what I needed to work on, right? If it was mindset, he would just lay it out. Hey, this is what you're doing. This is what you need to do. This is why you're getting these results, right? And then he'll custom tailor what I really needed at that time, like real moment. And then next, you know, I get results like, you know, next couple of weeks after I implement. Or when it's the strategy, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah. I'm not applying the right strategy. Like there's a difference between personalized, like one-on-one, versus group setting versus like you're on your own. There's big differences, right? And I think honestly, for the rate we charge, is like everything's undervalued. You want me to be honest, but hey, we just like to over deliver on stuff. So I think this is also good advice that. For people out there, because you used to come from a 9-to-5 job and you said, fuck it, I don't want to do this no more. And we even had that conversation when you were like, Joey, like, should I quit my job? Like, and I was telling you, I was like, dude, it's a safety net, you know? Like, I was like, I don't know if that's a wise decision, right? And he was like, he followed his gut, followed his intuition. This dude fucking quit his job, focused full time on just being a closer. Literally, you know, a couple months later of hard work, persistence, right? And I don't want to discredit Shoaib. He's one of the hardest working guys, right? Like, you can't just accidentally be a pharmacist. So put that in perspective. Like, you can't just accidentally be a pharmacist. You got to research. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what to do. You got to stay committed. And you got to stay consistent. Those same characteristics to be a pharmacist, he carried that on to being a closer. So I want to put this thing in perspective, right? Shoaib had great characteristics to be successful as a closer. He was disciplined and followed through to become a pharmacist, right? Because how many people start something and don't finish it? A lot. So I just wanted to give credit to Shoaib personally, because that's who he is as a person. But, you know, committing to closing, literally a couple months later, this dude's making like almost half of his freaking pharmacist check in like fucking 3 hours. Bro.
Yeah, literally, because I left 2 months ago in July. Yeah. And that's 3 months now. And I was thinking, you know, I have around 6 months worth of savings, so I can, you know, work off that. I haven't even had to touch that.
Hey.
Yes. I'm super chuffed, man. Seriously. Yes. I mean, I'm not blowing my own horn or anything, but this is kind of the ambition I had for this, and this is what people need as well. So basically, I moved out, so I'm paying all the bills, all the rent, everything. I had a child as well. You know, as you know as well, he's only 8 months now as well.
Father.
And then at that time, I left the job. Everyone was saying, "What are you doing? You know, you got a house, you got a family, you got a kid." I was like, "Don't worry, I've got this." And then, you know. Oh,
betting on yourself. Oh my gosh. So literally we had a class about this last Thursday, right? One of the most renowned classes we've had thus far, and one of the principles I live by, and one principle that we teach students at the academy, is betting on yourself. And the way I like to put things in perspective is imagine yourself in a room, in your high school room, right? You have your quarterback star, you got your homecoming king, homecoming queen, right? You have all the popular kids in there. You have the techies, you have the nerds, you have the geeks, you have all the stereotypes of being in the high school. And if you had to choose one person to be super successful, right, would you bet on you? And if the question is, if the first instance isn't you, then that's the problem, right? But with Shoaib, right, he betted on himself. Even though everybody in the classroom was like, dude, you're crazy. You shouldn't do it. It's not safe. It's high risk, right? All these fucking voices in the head, right? But he didn't bet on their words, right? He didn't make them right. He was like, nope, I'm going to trust my gut. I'm betting on myself. And he fully committed. And next thing you know, 3 months later, like, he didn't even have to touch his fucking savings, which is like, dude, I commend you for that. Seriously, man. So many people, unbelievable, man. Seriously. So many people are scared of betting on themselves, and that's why they end up staying at the same job, living at the same place, every single year having a New Year's resolutions and not getting closer to it, right? So it's amazing, and I love being in an environment, you know, a live rich environment of people betting on themselves, following through, and obviously being successful, because that's like that's what it's all about, man. Yeah. So what's your advice out there though for somebody that is in a comfortable position, but they know they want to, they know they want to obviously like better their life, but you know there's that fucking demon voice in your head and also these voices outside, right? What advice would you give like the Shoaib that wanted more for himself, but obviously there's a fear holding him back?
Yes, I'd say the main fear holding me back was, can I do it? I think that was the main question. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't like, oh, my parents aren't allowing me to do it. It wasn't any of that stuff. Because I know that obviously they come from a different background. They had to work because they were poor. Yeah, and that was the only thing available then. Now we have so many opportunities. You know, if you don't like your job, then okay, you know, look for something else. Be resourceful and actually master the skill and then leave. That's simple. I mean, because few months before I left work, I knew I could close. I already closed around 50 to 60K of sales. I knew I could close, but I was scared of making the leap, right? Because I was thinking, oh, you know, because I'm quite emerald as well, so I was thinking, oh man, what if my savings they deplete in 6 months? I was thinking, how are they going to deplete in 6 months? I mean, if I close just 3 or 4 closes a month, I would get more than 95. It's a no-brainer. So yeah, it's really having that belief and confidence in yourself. That's number one. Number two, making sure you're completely.
So how'd you get the belief? Did you get the belief first from like proving yourself? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. So first from proving myself, and then second, you have to have, because especially to quit a job, you need to hate it as much as you know you love the other stuff. You need to hate it. Because if you're like, okay, and you're like, yeah, it's all right, then you're not going to leave. If you hate it, then, okay, you're going to leave straight away, right? So if you go in every day thinking, oh, man, why am I even getting up for this? Then that means you hate it, right? so my, you know, my motivation was really the pain of being there. This is why, you know, this is what reflects in closing as well. You know, the human beings are more adept to making change when there's a lot of pain, right?
Yep, pain is change.
Yeah, exactly. And I have like a huge vision. I knew for sure that I can't get that vision if I'm working 9 to 5, stuck there, can't even, you know, can't even make ends meet. You know, before when I was in the job, I was only saving like £100 a month.
Oh, by the way, I think this is also good to mention. Yeah, closing is worldwide. It's global. You don't have to be in the U.S. to do this, because you're in. Yeah. So I think that's a good thing to mention because you're in the U.K., right?
UK,
yeah. Okay, so yeah, sorry to cut you off, but that's super important.
No, that's right.
Because closing
that's true.
It's worldwide. You don't have to be in the US to be a closer. So I did want to mention that. But yeah, go ahead, man.
Yes. I mean, before I was like saving £100 a month and this and that. And then when I spoke to my dad about this, because he was quite good with saving money and stuff, he says, yeah, by the end of the year, you should save £1,200. That's a very good part. I was like, what? I can't even pay for my car insurance, you know what I mean? And I had to keep dipping into my savings for every month. I was like, this can't go on. This cannot go on at all. So then I just took the jump, learned closing. It took like a good year until I got to this stage. So that's another tip. It does take a very, very long time for you to get to a good stage. I'm sure Joey will agree with me there and anyone else.
100%. Long term.
Yeah, it's not get rich.
Yeah.
You need to actually master it properly. And even then, you still need to be improving all the time. So yeah, man, your pain has to be there, your ambition, and really picturing that long-term vision all the time. When you have that in your mind and you know that you can't get it because work is stopping you, then you do whatever you can to get it.
Yes, sir. Pain equals change. Yeah, it's too easy. If you're too comfortable, then most likely you're not gonna make a change, and you're not gonna change your life. So that's awesome. So a couple of key things, right, is just prove a concept first, right? Proving to yourself, and then ultimately when you know you can close, right? You close $50,000 in sales. Like for me, like when I could close for an influencer, like that was like no brainer. I could do that because like previously I closed like over 6 figures as a personal trainer. I already knew like I put in my time in order to be good at sales. So hopping into a different field, obviously there's just going to be that learning curve. And then once you obviously get through that learning curve, a lot of things start to be better. But you just got to be willing to, you just gotta also be willing to get rid of the fucking get rich quick mindset. That's so toxic. I'm happy you brought that up, because even if you wanted to start an SMMA, you're gonna have to learn the skills of SMMA. You're gonna have to learn the skill of closing. You're gonna have to learn the skills of social media. You're gonna have to learn the skills of client retention. You're gonna have to learn the skills of copywriting. Right? That's not easy, right? Amazon FBA, right? You can start Amazon FBA, but there's the skill of talking and negotiating with suppliers. There's the skill of following through with the work, right? Shopify dropshipping. Now you have to do everything. Life that's great, that's good, doesn't come quick. So if you are in the mindset of I'm gonna be a closer, I'm gonna make $10,000 in the next 2 weeks, you're gonna fail. And you're gonna lose, because your mindset isn't even about the fact, because the main principle of being a closer is you're there to change the other person's life, right? What you're offering is actually valuable, that is going to change the person's life. And if you don't come with the principle and foundation of I'm doing a service for this person by giving them this offer, right? If that's not where you're coming from, if you're coming from just I'm looking to get money off of this person, that's where you lose, right? So the people who are get rich quick mindset, the people who are all about the money, right? This is the game that you can't win. You can't win in this game. But obviously, if you're a master manipulator, yeah, you can. But the majority of the people I know are good human beings, so I hope you're not like that. But like the just average Joe, right? Average Joe, average Shohei, right? You just got to know this is not a get rich quick. This is an actual skill. This is a superpower. You can change people's life for the better. And if you're not if you're not a closer for those reasons, don't even be in the business at all, right? Don't even be in the business at all, because
100%.
Shohei made that $1,150 in 3 hours in one day from knowing that his offer is valuable, that his influencer is a great person, that his influencer, it's going to change the person's business. But ultimately, because he's there for a good reason. So I do want to incorporate like some foundational stuff when it comes to being a closer, because like the money comes when you focus on other people. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. When you focus on the money and you see your finances, it's not going to come. Because actually reflecting on it, Joey, these last 3 closes that I just did, I was completely detached to the sale. I wouldn't advise it, but I was just scrolling on the internet and stuff like that, because I didn't want my mind to be focused on, I want to close them, So then I did that, and then it literally just came. So that's just be detached to the sale, man. Seriously.
Yeah, detached. Like just be relaxed about it. Because I'm telling you, the times where you're like, man, I need to like sign a contract, then we get this commission. Those are the ones, like, if you come off with that vibe, if you come off with that vibe, dude, they're gonna pull out last second. I gotta think about it. I don't know, right? Because they feel it. They're like, damn, this guy's really like making sure I sign this contract as soon as possible, right? So don't come from that frame. It's not good. It's not good. So
doesn't work, man.
I'd say just to leave off with some more value here, Shohei, I would say what is your 3 pieces of advice for new closers and also experienced closers? So 6 tips, but 3 for new closers and 3 for experienced closers.
Okay, so for new closers, first you make sure this is something you want to do. You have to really research it, because this is, I put in a year to get to this stage, right? So you need to think of the long-term mindset. It's not get rich, as Joey said. It's not get rich quick, as Joey said, or anything like that. It takes a lot of effort. I'm telling you, a lot of effort. Some days I put in, a good 9 to 12 hours in, some days, because I'm off work now, just full of closing and learning strategies, techniques, everything like that. It takes a lot of work, number 1. Number 2, be completely detached to the sale, 100%. Don't be desperate. Because that comes off. I'm telling you, that was probably one of the best lessons I've learned. Seriously. Number 3 for new closers is really try to get your kind of training done from someone who's very experienced. So people who give you these live call breakdowns. Again, I didn't come here with the intention to sell the academy or anything.
That's not the intention. That is not the intention. I'm
telling you, it's got the live call breakdowns. Why wouldn't you want to invest? It just makes no sense. having those live call breakdowns just really, really helps. So definitely join an academy or whatever it is that you want to do, but at least get experience from someone who knows exactly what they're talking about with closing, right? So that's for new guys. For guys who are already in closing, experienced, I'd say make sure that you have your affirmations there. Every day saying, reminding yourself that yes, I'm a good closer. I've done this before, I've done that before. So at least you never get into that negative loop of thinking, I haven't closed, or I've had a dry spell of closes. Because with sales, it's always up and down, always up and down. There might be like a week that goes by and you've hardly had any sales, and there might be a week that comes and you're getting all the sales. Okay, where did this come from? It's never consistent. Like 1 out of 5 closes every day. There's no such thing. It's probably like 0 out of 5 and 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
And somewhere down the line, 5 out of 5.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's
exactly,
the truth. Yeah.
I mean, anyone who tells you, you get 1 out of 5 every day, it's not right. It's not right.
Yeah.
Because that's just not how the nature works. Second piece of advice is, again, if you're stuck on any part of closing, go to someone who's very, very experienced. They can tweak it literally in the space of just one little meeting, and then you'd be able to, turn on the tap in terms of your close rate and everything. So that's another one. And number 3, I would say, have a spreadsheet whereby you log each call and you log the parts which you found difficult. So that means you can actually see a trend of what you're doing wrong, and then you can really work on that. And then the way you work on that is you just ask someone who's very experienced. Joey, Dylan, they're all available as well. Just have a meeting with them, man. It doesn't matter whatever the requirements are. Just have a meeting, and trust me, you will get a huge breakthrough in your close rate. So those are the things I'd do just from the top of my head, man.
Hell yeah! Well, I appreciate you spontaneously hopping on. This wasn't planned. I literally just saw the post, and then I get hyped off people's successes. That's what gives me more fulfillment than anything else. Is just like proving like, yo, the stuff we teach, it helps people. The stuff we teach, it works.
And on top of that, Joey, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
It's 3:39 a.m. here. I took my last call at 2 a.m. right? So we're talking about commitment and dedication to this, right? So that's what I'm talking about, especially the new closers as well.
Yeah. If you're not willing to stay up till 2 a.m., this might not be for you.
That's it, man.
It might be better to stay comfortable in your 9-to-5 job. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, this was spontaneous. Shoaib, I've been knowing him for quite some time now, probably like a year now. So I've seen his journey along the way. He sees mine along the way. So I'm so always excited when I see, obviously, great friends of mine just win, because that's what it's all about. It's just winning. So, any last words before we stop the live, Shoaib?
Just have the ambition and drive, man. Seriously, have the ambition and drive. Get someone who will be able to review your calls and stuff, and then just go from there. And then you'll be a winner, 100%.
Heck yeah. All right, family, you guys have a very great Sunday. You guys have a very great week. Let's get to closing. Let's close deals. I'm going to wish Shoaib a good night. I didn't even know it's like 3 a.m. there. So I'll see you guys next time. And